Well, since I shaved the weirdo hair, balding weirdo hair, and fucking the crazy goat, I figured I'd have to vape on camera to maintain my current state of fucking weirdness. But also because I need the nicotine. I haven't made a video in a while, even though I felt like I had a lot to say, because I don't believe in repeating myself. And I've been repeating for video after video after video after video. Stop lying. Stop fucking lying. And the lies continue to cascade down like a waterfall, like a flood. So last week it was PewDiePie, and now it's Milo Yiannopoulos. And I don't understand why the media bothered to try to attack PewDiePie in concert, because Milo was the target they should have led with. Unfortunately, their completely slanderous, biased, and obvious conspiracy in attacking PewDiePie was very obvious, and to use a phrase that I absolutely despise but is so popular and I guess accurate, I might as well use it. Everyone's red-pilled on what the media is trying to do. And now we have somebody who is an easier target with already a built-in, rather disparate and various amount of people from different political backgrounds, different age groups, all that, who don't like Milo Yiannopoulos. As an actual provocateur who actually goes out of his way to offend people's sensibilities on purpose a lot of the time, certainly not all of the time, because the man actually has a lot to say that is of grave importance to the political and social nature of the West. He's also pissed off a lot of people and being very crass and rude to a lot of people. And as such, the left, especially social justice warriors, have been after this guy for years and have been trying to destroy him for years. And now they have unilateral support from certain very suspect right-wing organizations that are conspicuously funded by left-wing organizations and just the left in general. And it's very clear that they've been waiting to do this for a long time, and probably the Berkeley riots and the news media surrounding that was the impetus for them to strike, because all their evidence that Milo is a pedophile and supports and protects pedophilia, none of which is true. Again, stop lying. None of that is true. Not a word of it. Not the being a pedophile, not supporting a pedophile, and not defending a pedophile. All three of those statements are lies. I want you to keep that in mind. But they've used evidence from a couple of podcasts that Milo Yiannopoulos is on, where he has been candid in his experience with being molested as a child, but also his experience of witnessing molestations take place in Hollywood. Most of those statements made were at least a year old, and yet now they're being brought up as if Milo hasn't been under scrutiny for 3 or 4 years. This was all done on purpose. This is a conspiracy, again, and it's obvious. Okay? It's not a conspiracy theory, it's a conspiracy fact. Now, this is hard to talk about because this is a real trigger issue that people who would normally be in defense of Milo are quickly rushing to condemn him, because pedophilia is one of those things that is universally considered evil. Pedophilia is considered more immoral than murder, more immoral than rape of adult women. It's something you get murdered in prison just for having on your rap sheet. Lifers like to come after people who target children. And which means that murderers, rapists, killers, drug dealers, gangsters will fucking view pedophiles as people they should fucking just destroy, let alone anybody of any actual moral decency. Again, I feel it's important to remind you that Milo is not a pedophile, has not defended pedophilia, and has not defended any pedophiles. He has in fact exposed, in award-winning journalism, 3 different pedophiles and basically destroyed them. And he is the victim of pedophilia. As I said, when he was a very young teenager, he was molested. Now, people are often conflating the initial molestation that he experienced with some, statutory illegal contact he had with a Catholic priest when he was an older teenager. This isn't the same thing, okay? It was when he was 12 or 13 that he was initially molested. And it was not described by him necessarily as a consensual thing. And Milo jokes about it, and it isn't something that he lets define him or make him a victim, which is an actual healthy behavior for a survivor of rape or molestation to exhibit. And for somebody to joke about their own experiences, however horrifying, is not unhealthy. To use an example that's a little bit outside of this very colored and gorge-rising fucking subject of pedophilia, take the guy who was the subject of the film 127 Hours. This is a man who was rock climbing when he fell down a crevice and had a very heavy boulder, crush his arm against a rock wall, trapping him. He remained there for, I think, 5 days? I'm terrible at math. You can correct me later. With his arm crushed against the wall before he made a decision that no one was going to find him. And he was going to die of exposure and starvation and dehydration. So he cut his own arm off and hiked back to safety. He appeared on, I believe it was Saturday Night Live. Or no, it was the Conan O'Brien show. He appeared on the Conan O'Brien show. And they did a joke sketch where he, had some sort of altercation with Conan and had his arm trapped on the stage. And they faked him cutting his other arm off to escape, just right then and there, as a joke. He very nearly died and had to cut his own arm off with a small penknife to escape. And he was willing, in front of the whole world, to joke about it. This is not weird. But some people who don't understand their own morality, let alone anybody else's, see that as something you just can't joke about. You can't joke about pedophilia. It's hypocritical. It's inconsistent. And again, why does anybody want to condemn him for joking about it? Because they think he supported, defended, and is pedophiles. None of those things are true and are in fact counter to the truth that Milo Yiannopoulos is anti-pedophilia and has exposed pedophiles in the past. And now one of these videos that they want to use to smear him is his mentioning and exposing the network of pedophilia that has been exposed by many, 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 many Hollywood stars before, to the outrage of fucking nobody, that there are pedophile rings in Hollywood. Tons of them. Metric motherfuck tons of them. Exploitation of actresses and actors underage and above. Sexual exploitation is rampant and always has been in Hollywood, and none of you care. Because this isn't about pedophilia. You know it's not. It's about burying Milo Yiannopoulos. And it's basically been exposed that it's not about pedophilia at all. It's about Milo Yiannopoulos' support of Donald Trump. And much like the media constantly lying about Milo Yiannopoulos, who are they also constantly lying about? And who is the real target of all of this fucking lying? Donald Trump. This is still just about Donald Trump. So now I have to be another liberal constantly defending Donald Trump, because look at the collateral damage. Look at the immoral targeting. Look at how far the left-wing media will go. Again, I've stated before, and I want this fucking written on my grave at this point. When everything is information, lying is evil. Okay? Like murder is evil. Like rape is evil. Like actual pedophilia is evil. And it should be said that pedophilia is actually, and also called pederasty, is actually the explanation, is a word that means sexual desire for children and sexual desire for young boys. Okay? Actual child rape is not necessarily synonymous with pedophilia. And that is always something to keep in mind whenever somebody throws around that word in order to smear and target people. Okay? There's no evidence that Milo has ever touched anybody who's not of age. Okay? And there's been evidence that he was repeatedly fucking touched and molested when he was not of age himself. So what is this but victim blaming? What is this but hypocrisy? Okay? And remember, this is not about Milo. Okay? Perhaps the riots that occur at any university that invites him to speak is about Milo. But this concerted news media effort is about Trump. Okay? You can follow the money. It has been done. I'm going to link in the description a video done by Sargon of Akkad that just basically spells this all out plain as fucking day and follows the paper trail, okay? Otherwise known as actual journalism. I'm not a journalist, I'm a pundit, okay? But I can point you to the people who have done the work and can explain that the mainstream media, who I remind you is worthless, technically less than worthless, actively poisonous, that should not be trusted for anything. It doesn't mean disregarded. It doesn't mean automatically distrusted. I mean that you should take nothing the news media says at face value. Nothing. Nothing. If they tell you tomorrow the sky is blue, go outside and check. Thanks for watching.